How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and it is the first week of January 2022. It's a brand new year. Hopefully this year is a little better than last year. Not starting out great, but hopefully this is the year we finally kick the pandemic to the curb. But as I did last year, and this was pretty well received, so I think I'll do it again. I want to show off the top 10 cards that I acquired over the past year. I love doing this. I love going back through my collection and picking out the most exciting cards that I acquired over the last year and just sort of doing a little recap of what the last year brought to my collection. So the rules for this are the same as last year. I'm a graded card collector, so the cards are all graded, and it's either cards that I received back from grading within 2021 or that I purchased already graded in 2021. So without any further ado, let's get into it. With the number 10 card that I acquired in 2021, it is this Virizion EX full art from Plasma Blast. Black and white full arts are pretty difficult to get in PSA 10. I always pick them up when I have the opportunity. They are a lot more expensive now, but a lot of them have very low populations. I don't really want to make a pronouncement as to, these will go up in value in the future. I don't really know. I think like they're pretty expensive now. I don't really see, them going up further for a while. But let me tell you, when you see one of these, you might not see another for years. So when I see a black and white full art for a good price, I always pick it up, and this Virizion was certainly one of them. So yeah, Plasma Blast, an awesome set. Virizion, a very playable card. So especially getting that in PSA 10 was really awesome. So there we go, the number 10 card that I acquired. I purchased this card, of course. I think I've only graded maybe a couple black-white full arts as a 10. And just sort of another note, the list is basically based on what cards excited me the most, and what I personally believe are the best additions to my collection. It's not about price or value or anything like that. All right, so number 9 is this Rayquaza PSA 10 holographic card from Holon Phantoms. I got this back in my PSA return in May. It took like a year for this card to get back. I submitted it in May of 2020 to PSA, and it came back in May of 2021. Pretty insane. But I was really happy to get this card back. I believe I pulled this card myself a very long time ago and just got around to submitting it to PSA in 2020. But 2021, it came back, and it came back with that Gem Mint 10 grade Rayquaza, one of my favorite Pokemon. You will see a theme throughout this video. There are a couple Rayquaza cards, but I was really happy to get this one in. Beautiful Mitsuhiro Arita art there. Rayquaza sort of circling around the structure in the water that mimics the Holon Phantoms logo, if you can kind of see the similarities there. But yeah, to get this card in a PSA 10 was just amazing. I was so happy to acquire this one. All right, next up, another card that I graded myself, received back in 2021. You can't have a top 10 video without at least one Charizard. The Delta Species Charizard from Miracle Crystal. I was thinking that this was going to be one of the tougher Delta Species cards to acquire in PSA 10, and I was right. It did take me quite a while to find a mint condition Charizard from Miracle Crystal. But I was very lucky to get this one, and it came back from PSA with the Gem Mint 10 grade. So this is really exciting. It basically, sometimes with these very hard to find and expensive cards, it kind of like, it drives you to do a collection goal. So eventually I may go after all of the Delta Species holos in PSA 10. I think that's like a very far down the line goal once I'm finished with like the 6 goals that I have currently. But I'm thinking about it, so I was very happy to get this Charizard out of the way, and that's how I try to do most of my collecting, is to pick up big cards as soon as possible, because it just becomes harder down the line. So really excited to get this Charizard. This was a fantastic card to acquire this year. All right, 10, 9, 8. Now, okay, on to number 7. This was a big purchase. This was one I kind of just finally bit the bullet on, and I sort of threw money to the wind, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pass on this card anymore. I'm just going to buy it. And I'm really happy I did. So I picked up a Primal Groudon EX full art from Primal Clash in a PSA 10. So I did purchase this card. I did not grade it myself. As you can see, the cert number, pretty old there. But I was very, very happy to pick up this card. And this was the last card I needed. I've been looking for it for a very long time. But like one did not come up for like a year, and then when one finally did, it sold basically immediately for well over what I was at the time thought was a good price. But that high sale did kind of drive a couple more out into the open market, some for, listed for ridiculous prices, with buy it now or best offer that, when it's priced so high, you don't really want to throw in an offer. But then one came up and it was slightly reasonably priced. I think I paid about the same that the last one sold for, maybe a little bit more. But I was just really happy to finally pick up this card. So the reason I was really happy to pick up this card was now I have the Primal Kyogre in a PSA 10 from the same set. I have the Mega Rayquaza from Roaring Skies in English PSA 10. I have those three, the 3 set. I also have all of them in Japanese. And this was the last card I needed to kind of complete all of the XY5 and XY6 Primal Mega Legends, the Mega Evolved kind of forms of the Weather Trio in their full art PSA 10 form. So having this card, finishing that sort of mini collection goal off was really awesome. And this is just kind of a point to when you see a card that you want, just go out and buy it, because at first you might be like, I don't really want to spend that much money, is there going to be another one that comes up? Just do it. You won't regret it. So 7, 6. Okay, card number 6. I'm losing count here as I talk a lot. Card number 6, PSA 10, Gardevoir EX from EX Sandstorm. This was a big surprise in my PSA return that I got back in May. I was not expecting this card to get a 10, but it did. I mean, it is a very, very clean card. You can see on the back, there's basically nothing wrong with this card. So quite deserving of the 10. I think I just saw like a tiny print line, and I was like, I don't, didn't want to get my hopes up on this. But came back with the PSA 10 grade, and this is just incredible. A beautiful card. You can see that amazing holo pattern. And to grade this myself was really exciting. Probably the only PSA 10 old EX card that I acquired this year. They are all super expensive now. Most of the EX cards that I acquired this year were PSA 9. So really happy to get this in the 10 grade, add it to the collection, and I think I bought the card for maybe like 20 bucks or something. So we're $30 in on this PSA 10 Gardevoir EX when you factor in the grading fees and everything. I don't think you can get much better than that. All right, card number 5. The Mint 9 Raikou from the Shiny Pokemon Present campaign, the 1,000 limited lottery promo dogs. The shiny versions, these are incredible. So in 2021, this kind of starts me off on a little bit of a story. I wanted to kind of take my collecting to a more exclusive level. Most of my collection is set cards and stuff. I collect some promos here and there. But I wanted to buy something a little bigger. I wanted to buy something a little rarer, just sort of take that next step, and lottery promos I thought were a great way to sort of get into the more higher end of Pokemon collecting, because they're kind of like, I made a video on this, they're like the forgotten middle ground, right? You've got your set cards where there's tons of them, you've got your prize and trophy cards, you know, whatever you want to call them, where there's very few of them. But kind of in the middle, you've got these lottery promos where, you know, some are to 5,000, some are to 3,000, some are to 1,000. And in there, you know, they're very expensive, but they're still pretty exclusive. So I was able to pick up a full set, actually, of the Heart Gold and Soul Silver 1,000 lottery promo. So I got the dogs, and I also got the Lugia and Ho-Oh. The Lugia and Ho-Oh have not been graded yet, so they are not in this video. But I did get all 3 of the dogs graded this year, and they came back super high. So this Raikou was the lowest grade out of the 3 with a mint 9. So it takes home the number 5 spot. And at number 4, the Entei from the same set in Gem Mint 10 condition. These cards are really, really nice. And I think, you know, condition doesn't necessarily matter to me as much on these super rare cards where there's only 1,000 of them produced. But if you are able to get them in the PSA 10 grade, it is just incredible. So this artwork went into the English Call of Legends set. I like those cards. I don't like them as much as the lottery promos. I think they're just, they're more just kind of clean, I think, with the standard holo pattern, these beautiful shiny artwork. It just really, it's super exciting. And yeah, this artwork is fantastic. It just blows me away. And yeah, I paid a lot to get these cards ungraded, so to get a 9 and then a 10 on this one was just incredible. So we got 2 of the lottery dogs there, but we're gonna hold off on the last one that is coming down the line. But now we have the number 3 card, and it is this. It is the Crystal Ho-Oh Split Earth PSA 10. So this year had a couple really big purchases for me. One of the big purchases was, of course, the lottery promos. Another big purchase I made was a complete set of Split Earth. And I bought this set with basically no back pictures, just a sort of description of the set is in good condition. I paid quite a bit for it, but I got really lucky. All of the cards were in really good condition. So I've only graded the Crystal Ho-Oh so far. You know, with PSA being shut down and stuff, the Ho-Oh was really the only one I could justify spending $150 to grade. But it did come back with the Gem Mint 10 grade. So not only is this a beautiful and amazing card, I mean, look at that holo pattern. Look at that artwork, just incredible. So beautiful. But this is kind of a reclamation project. I've mentioned this a couple times. I used to have a PSA 10 Crystal Ho-Oh. I sold it. I ended up very much regretting selling that card. You know, it was good money at the time, but you know, you always regret a couple sales. So I was really happy to reacquire this card in a PSA 10 in my collection. Just fantastic. So yeah, this was really exciting, and I was super happy to get this card back in the collection. So the number 2 card that I acquired this year, this will be familiar to people who have followed my channel recently. It is the Gem Mint 10 Rayquaza EX Full Art from Dragons Exalted. This card is mind-blowing. This card is incredible. This card is the most I've ever spent on a single Pokemon card, but it is so worth it. As I mentioned in my video where I revealed this card also sort of completes a mini collection goal. I now have the Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza in black-white full art form. I have all of them in PSA 10. So that is super exciting. I was really happy to be able to acquire this card and do this. Yeah, and this is a huge acquisition for me, and I was just really happy to be able to make it work. But it is not the number one card that I acquired this year. What is the number one card that I acquired this year? Well, it is this. The PSA 10 Gem Mint Suicune lottery promo. Only 1,000 of this exists, probably a couple extra copies in there somewhere. But this card is just fantastic, not only for, you know, it being an incredible artwork, an incredible card, an incredible grade, an incredibly rare release, but also, you know, what it represents for my collecting and for my collection. Again, as I mentioned, I kind of, you know, earlier in the year, I wanted to take my collection to sort of the next level, you know. And again, at the time, the amount that I spent on these lottery promos was, you know, the most I've ever spent on cards at the time. It was, of course, it was then eclipsed by the Rayquaza that I purchased. But, you know, it was big to sort of make that jump and to make that jump into a more exclusive vein of collecting. And I think that's really sort of what represented 2021 for me, was taking a bit of a step beyond the collecting that I had done previously and moving into a little bit more exclusive area. You know, I have cards that are worth more than this. I have cards that you know, more people would recognize as sort of being big cards. But to me, this really is a huge card, and I'm so excited to have it in the collection. And it was definitely the number one card that I acquired this year. I mean, just look at that artwork. That is incredible. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know, what's the best cards that you acquired over 2021? I'm excited to hear about that. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stick around for more videos.